Oh yeah, what's up guys? It is Coop Dizzle here, and welcome back for episode 17 on the StreamCraft server. It is another beautiful day on the StreamCraft server, and I am excited because we are continuing our villager, I don't know what to call it, the epic villager farm powered tower. I don't know what to call it, but I'm definitely excited to keep working on this project. Now in the last episode, we got a good start on it. We went to a village, we gathered a bunch of villagers up, we got the villager breeding cell online, and let me just pop back into regular mode over here. So basically, spoiler alert, so basically we got this top part done with the doors, the artificial village, and there is a breeding cell over there, and that's all we got done by the end of the episode. That actually took the whole episode. I did kind of show off my technique with that nether portal over there, which makes moving the villagers around much easier than anything else I've ever had to do. Let me see if I can make it over there. Did I make it? Oh, fail! Nope! Oh, thank goodness for feather falling 4. That was bad. Almost. Well, anyway, that's what I get for trying to show off. So I'm not gonna really talk about all this other stuff that's been added because I don't really want to leave you guys out of the process, and I meant to get a lot more done in the last episode, and I just ran out of time for the video. But what we're going to do is I'm going to do a little quick update over here, and then I'm going to go ahead. I already had some footage that I meant to use on the last episode, so I'm going to take you guys through some of that so I can show you kind of what comes next in the building process, or my thought process. But just a quick update on this thing. It's going pretty good. Let's see, it looks like we only got one kiddo down there right now. So when we started, we had a total of 9 villagers that we recruited from the village. Well, I can't remember which way it was, but anyway, we had 9 villagers. We put 1 up there, and I put 7 others down here, and I kind of kept 1 out. And so basically that's where it was. We started with 7 villagers in here, and now it's getting to the point where there are so many of them and they move around so fast that I can't really keep an accurate number. But anyway, I haven't been doing anything crazy like AFKing overnight or AFKing while I'm at work or anything like that. I only have this running when I'm playing. So I don't know, because I don't want to like crash the server or anything like that. But anyway, so that's going good. That's still working well. I've been doing some trading with those guys as well. Well, can't show you my goodies here. But anyway, like I said, I want you guys to be in on the process, so I'm going to kind of take you back a little bit to right after I got this done. And basically the next thing that we had to do was to build a water canal underneath this level, so that way when the villagers fall down, or the baby villagers, when they fall down eventually, because I'm going to have this bottom block, like you can see this is 2 blocks high. Eventually, most of these bottom blocks will be removed, so they'll be able to just run right out of them. And anyway, we need a water channel to funnel them over in this direction here. So anyway, guys, I'm going to cut to that, and then we will pick up the project from there. And yeah, so I'll see you in a second. Alright, guys, well, I just checked on the village breeder. We got about 12 villagers up there right now, so that looks like it's still going pretty good. And I got the water stream finished finally, and this took much longer than I thought it would. Oh, let's take a moment and enjoy the sunrise. I tell you what, it's pretty. It's very pretty. The sunrise and the sunset in this game are really good. But back to work. So I finally got this done. This took much longer than I thought, and part of the reason is because, well, the big reason is because I was trying to do a one tall gap, I guess. So I had the floor up 1 more layer, and I was kind of trying to reach in and place water from far away and kind of figure out how it was all working out and stuff. And it's a lot easier to do water streams when you can actually walk inside of them and kind of test them out like I'm doing here. So if I were a baby villager, I'd get pushed under this block and come back out where these signs are, for example. But anyway, once I lowered it down, it finally got easy enough to do. I had to change the shape of this a little bit but only on the inside. I'm going to keep the shape on the outside as it was. But yeah, so that way, originally I was just creating a bunch of source blocks. And so, anyway, with this shape, I was able to make sure that no matter where in the farm they drop from, they're going to be filtered out toward this end, which is what we want. And that'll be once we break out these stone bricks right here. They'll be able to fall down and yeah, drop into our water stream here. So from there, they're going to come out here. There's going to be a little bit of a tunnel leading to I guess, a drop. And that will take them to a secondary water stream, which will carry them down to the tube where you can pick them up inside of the lobby. So anyway, didn't mean to ramble on about that, but that did take quite a bit longer than I expected. So the next thing is we finally get to start working on the actual automatic farms. So the next level down is going to be an automatic wheat farm, and I'm going to try to squeeze in 2 wheat farms. So anyway, it's going to be a really standard villager powered wheat farm design. There are plenty of tutorials out there that show you how it works, but it's going to be one of those where underneath the tilled soil is a minecart hopper that'll run around picking up all the wheat and most of the seeds as it gets harvested and left on the ground and stuff. So anyway, that's going to take some time, and I'm not going to show too much on camera. I'll probably show you when I have it finished though, just so you can kind of see how it's working and I can kind of explain all that stuff. Alright, so we're back, and anyway, so yeah, hopefully all that stuff made sense. It's real basic design. The villager, again, just pretty much has a full inventory, and they don't have any food on them, so they're hungry, which means they're going to break the wheat and want to pick up the wheat, but they won't be able to, and then they're going to replant the seeds indefinitely. So all that gets picked up by a minecart hopper, funneled into the regular hoppers, which funnels down to the next level, and this will be the second wheat farm, so we'll have 2 of those bad boys going on, which hopefully will produce tons and tons of wheat, which will be great for trading and breeding cows and those kinds of things. And anyway, the hoppers that they funnel down through, that just kind of continues and on down to this level here. So this was the next thing. Oh, let's see if I can get down there. It's kind of tricky. There we go. So this was the next level that I had to make, and basically what this is going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, let's see, I'll block that off with dirt just to mark it out. But basically, the hoppers are going to get funneled down and into this dispenser. And this dispenser will basically shoot the items off and drop them down into this hole here. I'll show you where that leads in just a second. Now, to power the dispenser, I basically use the same mechanism, or I don't know what you call it, the same contraption that dispenses ender pearls over at the Enderman farm. Now, I showed that off in the World Tour video, but I didn't really explain how it worked. And I can't even remember which tutorial I found this on. It was one of the Enderman farm tutorials. I wish I could remember, but I'm sure this is a pretty common design for a rapid firing dispenser. Basically, the items are going to get filtered down. All of the wheat and the seeds will get filtered down through these hoppers into this hopper and down here, and then into the dispenser. Now, once the items reach this hopper here, there is a redstone comparator that will detect that it has an item in there, and so this will go off, which fires off this repeater. The repeater carries the signal into both of these repeaters simultaneously. So this repeater powers the dispenser, and this repeater over here will shut off the comparator. And so basically the comparator is getting shut off by this repeater and then turned on again when it detects another item. So it just rapidly fires until no more items are left in this hopper. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and destroy this scaffolding. I really don't need to come back here again. So let me just take care of that. Okay, that'll work for now. Eventually most of this floor will be removed, and I'm only going to keep this tunnel here. So in fact, I'll probably do that sometime after this cut, just because I wanted to leave the floor here so I could show it to you. But anyway, I've tested this out. The items will get pushed all the way to the hole here. Sometimes a few of the items get left in the dispenser, and I'm not sure why, but that's fine, to be honest. I'm okay with that. They'll all get pushed out eventually. So they all get pushed out through... Oh, the wrong block, dang it. They're all going to get pushed out through this hole here. Let me just cap that off. So this is the center of the tower, and basically it's the center of the next floor. Oh, cool. I'll pick up these blocks. And I can't wait to get rid of all this stone brick. I don't know what I'm going to do with the tower design yet, but it's definitely not going to be stone brick. But anyway, sorry for the tangent there. Now this floor and the floor below it, basically all I've done here is I've made the platforms. I haven't done any of the other work. So there's an identical platform right underneath it, and that's where I'm at right now. Whoa, see you later. So basically, one of these farms is going to be a carrot farm, and the other one's going to be a potato farm. And the design for this, I'll probably leave a link for this one in the description, but the design for this is by Unary Bit, and it just came out a few weeks ago, I believe, and it's been blowing up. But it is a brilliant design, and basically requires 0 redstone. So I'm going to fill this, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to fill all of this in with dirt and till it up. I don't have nearly enough carrots to plant all of this, or potatoes for that matter, but you really only need one, and eventually the villager is going to start taking care of it for you once we get a farmer down here. So, but anyway, I'm going to fill this thing in with dirt, and then there's a bit of, I don't know, I guess a holding cell. Yeah, there's a holding cell where you put a non-farmer villager in the middle. And so what eventually will happen, well, I'll explain it when we get there, because I guess what I'm going to do is once I get all this filled in and tilled up, and maybe plant a couple of carrots or a couple of potatoes here, then and get that cell built up, then I think we're going to come back in when I transport the villagers into the cell, so you guys can be a part of that much. And yeah, so I'm going to get to work on that, guys. Alright, well, I wanted to go ahead and do a little progress update because it's going to be a couple of days before I have the chance to record again. So let me just show you guys what I've managed to get done. And yeah, so this is what it's looking like. This is the first level, and actually it's the second level up. So there's one right underneath us that is identical to this one. And basically, this is Unary Bit's design, which I believe I mentioned in the last cut, and I will be sure to leave a link to the showcase in the description. He doesn't have a tutorial, but you can go download the test world and see it for yourself, which is extremely helpful. But anyway, basically the way this thing's going to work is we're going to have one villager in a cell right here, and this will be a non-farmer villager. It can be any villager really, but I'm going to use the non-farmer villager. And the reason these blocks are here right now, those are going to go away, but right now those are just there to mark out where I'm going to put the minecart track, because eventually I've got to move a guy in there. So I'll have a minecart track. Before I put up the walls and everything, I'll go ahead and put a minecart track that goes over to there. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. But anyway, so I'll have a minecart track coming over to here, and I'll move the nether portal down so I can easily transport a villager in here. But anyway, we're going to have one that's trapped inside of there. And then eventually, once I breed some fresh farmers, we will get those guys in here too. And so they're going to go around and pick up the potatoes and the carrots down below, and they're going to replant those all over this area. And one of the things that makes this hinge off of it being non-redstone, I guess you could say, is this block right here. Now this block has to be at a light level of 7 exactly. If it's less than 6, it doesn't work. I verified that in my test world. And if it is above 7, then that won't work either, because basically we want this crop to pop out. So the idea is we want to bring the villager to the middle of the farm, because he'll be walking around and picking up stuff and replanting stuff, and eventually this whole thing will be full, and he will see over here that there is some tilled dirt that needs planting. So he'll be off doing his thing, and then he'll be like, oh wait, I need to go plant here. And so he'll plant here, and then that'll put him right in front of this villager that'll be standing on top of this carpet, and he'll have enough food that he'll want to share the food. So he'll toss it, and again, these blocks won't be here, but he'll toss that food. It won't be able to get to the villager, and instead it'll drop into this water stream, which funnels down. And that same water stream is also going to be dropping the rest of my wheat through. So the wheat will fall straight through here and down into the next level, and eventually down to a chest area in the lobby. So anyway, I hope that makes sense, guys. It's a brilliant design, and again, I'll be sure to leave a link to the video so you guys can go check it out for yourselves. You can make it quite a bit bigger than this. This is a pretty small version of the farm, but it's what fits into the scale of my base, and I think that combined, I mean, this thing will be running anytime that I'm playing. It's going to be running, and it'll collect absolutely tons of crops for me. I want to say that I used about 7 stacks of dirt on these 2 levels of the farm, so I have to imagine that's going to get us some pretty good rates. And just for the sake of showing it to you, here is the next level. The next level down. So this is going to be our carrot level, and unfortunately, oh sweet, unfortunately I only have these 3 carrots at the moment, so I'll go ahead and refarm those. But once we get a farmer in here, it won't matter because he'll automatically take care of that for us, so that'll be all good. But anyway, yeah, I haven't put in the lighting here yet, but that's what we're going to do next, I guess. I'm going to get the lighting thing figured out, so I'll make it work. And then I guess I'll bring you guys back in once I have some walls built up around here, and once I'm ready to transport the non-farmer villagers in here. It's going to be a while before we get the actual farmers in here. We're probably going to be done with the lobby area, or at least I'm still up in the air about how I want to collect the villagers. I know they're going to fall from here, and that drop is actually going to go through the back end of this farm as well. But I don't know if I want the villagers to land in the lobby area, or if I want them to, excuse me one second. Sorry if you heard my dog snoring, I wanted to wake him up real quick. But anyway, I don't know if I want the villager to land in the lobby area, because then that means we would have to transport villagers from the lobby and then out of the tower. And what might be easier, if I want to go ahead and just keep this kind of nether portal transportation system going for me, it might be better to just drop them into a basement below the tower with a, I don't know, that has a nether portal down there. So that way we could quickly get villagers to anywhere else that we happen to need them, including if other StreamCrafters wanted to get some villagers, they could just come over here and use my minecart track to get them back to wherever it is that they're going to go. Alright, well guys, I am out of time to record for this week, so I'm going to show you the work that I have done since the last cut, and then we're going to call it a day. And oh man, I feel so bad. It's not for lack of trying, guys, really. I have put so much time into this project this week, but a lot of my time for playing I didn't get to do because I was out of town this weekend visiting my wife and my younger son. And so that's just kind of how it worked out. But I think we are well positioned that we can start off next week's episode with a really cool time lapse of building the shell for this this huge tower. So anyway, guys, let me go ahead and show you what I did get done. And let me see here, perfect. So anyway, man, yeah, I feel so bad about that. It's been at least a couple of episodes since we've had a really cool time lapse and just something really pretty to show off. And so yeah, I can't help it. I feel a little bit guilty, guys, but hopefully you'll still stick around and check out the next episode, because I think we're going to start off with something really, really cool. Oh, yeah, before I do that. Okay, so here is the carrot level of the farm. Before, I only had a little bit of carrots grown, but I've managed to fill out this whole thing, and so it should be pretty good. I don't know exactly. I think this is about 2 stacks of carrots, something like that. So, you know, if carrots are growing roughly once every 50 minutes to an hour, then hopefully once that happens, the farmers will be producing, or the farmer will be producing something similar to that per hour. So, and it's really cool. You really have to check out UnariBit's video on it, because basically what happens is the villager will come up here because he'll detect that this soil is not planted. So he'll come up here, plant it, and that'll bring him within range of the villager standing here. So he'll try to throw the crop up to that villager. It won't make it, and instead it will fall into that water stream there. which will get filtered down to the storage area. And then whenever he leaves, because the light level here is 7, and I think maybe something to do with that string too, I'm not sure, or I think that just holds up the carpet. But anyway, something to do with that. As soon as he leaves, that becomes unplanted, and then he'll go around and do his thing for a while, but eventually he'll come back to the center of the farm every time. So he can replant this, drop off crops, or try to drop off crops to this villager, and that'll also help him to detect any, basically any crops that have regrown in the entire farm. So that's going to be a really, really cool thing, and I think that's going to produce plenty of crops for us. And so yeah, up here we just have the potato level of the farm. I got all of the lighting sorted out too, so everything is set up. It's ready to go. As soon as we get the structure built and the villagers in place, this thing will be ready to rock and roll. So that's pretty good. Now this bit, get in there. There we go. This bit has only changed a little. I had to move this back because of where those water flows are underneath where we just were. I kind of had to push this back a little bit, but you can't see it, but the dispenser's back there. So all that stuff is set up and ready to go. I had to move this little circuit as well. And yeah, so that'll be good. That's going to filter our wheat down. Now the wheat farms themselves have not changed. Those are still going. Now I do have to manually harvest these a few times to collect seeds. So I'm going to need 16 stacks of seeds total to get the wheat farms up and running. So that's basically I have to get fresh farmer villagers and then fill their inventory with seeds. And they have 8 inventory slots, so 8 stacks of seeds per farmer. That way they're not able to pick up the wheat. They can pick up seeds, which is fine, but they can't pick up the actual wheat, and that way that'll get picked up by our minecart hopper. So that's looking pretty cool, or it's going to be good. Like, this thing's going to be good, but oh man, I've spent so much time on this. I'm kind of at that point in the project where there's the second level that hasn't changed. But anyway, I'm getting to that point in the project where it's really starting to wear on me, and I'm just anxious to get this thing finished. So anyway, I did change the artificial village just a little bit. I added some more doors, and I put the doors on the outside, and the villager is trapped in the middle of that. Now, originally I just had 6 doors. Now there's a total of 12, and that's because my villager breeder, it seemed to be broken for a while. Now, the last time you saw this, there were 12 villagers in here, so it was working, but it was so dadgum slow. I only ran it when I was able to play and keep an eye on it, but I got to the point where I was like, man, I mean, I would, I think last night, for example, I was on for 5 hours and there were maybe 3 or 4 more villagers. It was so ridiculously slow, and I thought I must have broken it. So today I actually did AFK here for a while, and I went ahead and changed that out, I guess. I added more doors to it, made sure all the doors were facing the outside and there were blocks on the inside. So everything I could do to make that work better, and it's definitely helping. A lot of these guys are here because of trading, just me trading to speed up the process, but I have seen on multiple occasions where babies were born without any intervention from me. So this thing is definitely working, and let's see, if we just hit F3, yeah, this entity count has gone up since the last time I checked. So I think at the beginning of the day it was around 28 or 32 or something like that. It looks like it's definitely in the 50s. And I don't think all of those are villagers. Like, I don't think we have 55 villagers in there. But as you can see, we have quite a few, which means I need to get the villager drop thing sorted out pretty fast, because I don't want these guys breeding much more than they already have. Also, let me know in the comments, guys, if you have any experience doing stuff like this. What I've heard is, once you get a good number of villagers, that you should just kill off all the ones that aren't farmers. And we have a pretty good number of farmer villagers now. So would it be better to leave these guys here and just, you know, once I'm ready, there are certain blocks, like on each side, these 3 blocks I can knock out, and that will let the baby villagers fall into that water flow system and into the villager drop. So, but anyway, let me know if it'd be worth it. I think what I might do, I might not kill these guys, I might just transport them into a holding area, because I want to keep at least 16 for an iron farm. And there are some here I probably can't get them out if I wanted to. But there's some here that have some good trades already, so I might want to try and go ahead and save those guys, or maybe just start fresh. I'm not sure. But as far as killing off the ones that are not farmers, let me know if that would be worthwhile. Like, would I still get decent rates? Would it be possibly better? Because even though it is working now, it seems to be working, I feel like it's still agonizingly slow. So, excuse me. So the last thing to wrap this video up that I wanted to do was to hop down here and just take a look at it, because I think I know now what we're going to do to decorate this thing. What I'm thinking about is, see, and now I'm looking at it, I'm not too sure. Okay, there are little platforms over here for scaffolding. All that's going to go away, and we're going to be left with this tapering tower. And so what I was thinking of possibly doing with this is maybe shaping it out just a little bit more than what the floors are currently, like right here. Maybe curve that a little bit more, and maybe even start the base just slightly thinner and bow it out like this, and maybe try to do something along the lines of the Gherkin in London, which would be really cool. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've probably seen it. It's the egg-shaped building in downtown London, and it is one of the coolest skyscrapers out there, period. Now, London's coming out with some really cool ones ever since the Gherkin, but I think it would be really neat. Now, this would be about a little less than a third of the scale of the Gherkin, but that's okay. It would fit the scale of our base. It would be very difficult to do. I haven't attempted anything like that since the Dragon Bucks Tower, which I want to say is maybe episode 4, and I learned a little bit from that. It would be kind of hard to time-lapse because I haven't done it in a creative build, and I don't think that I'm going to be honest. But basically what it would be, okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about with the Gherkin, is it's kind of an egg-shaped building, and ours might not be a perfect egg shape, but like I said, I might extend the shape out just a little bit to accommodate it, and then what you end up having is you have these slanted stripes that they kind of wrap around going up the building. That's kind of hard to show with my cursor, but anyway, I've been collecting a lot of quartz. In fact, I can show you that right now too. Let me just pop on over there. I've spent probably 3 or 4 hours or something, at least a couple of hours in the nether collecting quartz. So if I head over here, oh, there we go. Yeah. So let me see, this is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So about 17 and a half stacks of quartz, which with my fortune pick, let's see, 16, that would be about 8 stacks of blocks, maybe 8.5 stacks of blocks, plus I do have a little bit, enough for another stack of blocks over here. I think that might be enough, I think. I could be wrong. But I want to use basically quartz, and basically what they're going to do is it's going to make diamond shapes going all the way up and around. And so we'll do that with the quartz, and then the way that we get these slants, the curves, is by basically filling in those diamonds in diagonals. And so you do like 2 diagonals in one color and then 1 diagonal in a contrasting color. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of explaining, guys. So hey, this episode felt a little bit different to me. I know this project is definitely challenging me, pushing me to my limit, and so thanks for sticking with me through that, and just for hanging out with me today in general. And I hope that you did enjoy it, or that you found it interesting, and I hope you had a good time, guys. So I want to say real quick, big thanks to all the new subscribers. We had a few new subscribers since the last episode, so that's really exciting. I'm glad to have you guys here. And if this episode seemed a little bit different from my other ones, then it is, guys. And I'm sorry about that. It was a short week, so to speak, for me. But it was not for a lack of trying. Okay, this tower didn't exist before the start of the episode. It does represent a lot of work, and I hope that you enjoyed it, guys. We will get this thing looking really pretty by the end of the next episode, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys will stick around and check it out. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do hit the like button. It definitely helps to keep me motivated to keep making the videos, especially with tough projects like this one. And yeah, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button so you can follow along as we continue working on our epic base here. And yeah, I guess that's about it, guys. Until next time, may you be happy, may you be well, and take care. I'll see you later.